Morning VC, Harris here with another video. Got up early for this one. Post-punk. I thought I'd show some post-punk records. Excuse me. What is post-punk? I don't really know. It came after punk. I don't know when punk ended. But it certainly threw up some amazing records. And yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot in the last couple of days. I don't know why. Easter. Still in lockdown, still fairly isolated, although that ends in a couple of weeks, and I'm looking forward to hitting the shops and meeting my mates and probably getting drunk quite a lot as well. But the first up, surely maybe the most iconic post-punk record, second edition by Public Image Limited, or also known as Metal Box. It came out in a metal film canister with 3 records. Trying to replicate a dub record. If you know this record, you know it's incredible. A really difficult listen, but fantastic, and some of the most unique instrumental playing. You've got, you know, Johnny Lydon or Rotten just droning over this. You've got Jar Wobble, who's the absolute star here with his reggae or dub bass lines, and Keith Levine on guitar, who plays so fantastically on this. It sounds like a Brillo pad at times, or on an amazing tune like Pop Tones. He just repeats this sort of phrase, and it's, you know, someone said it's like looking at a white wall, and slowly if you look at it more and more you see images, and it's an incredible record. It's not the easiest record to listen to, but it's the great. I think it's the greatest record that sort of came out of punk or post-punk. It's absolutely superb. Came out in '79. Superb record. There's a brilliant interview with JJ Jackson with Public Image Limited just before the first incantation, or whatever the word is, of Public Image Limited is about to split, and it's fantastic. And for once they're not. Johnny Lydon's not being all moody, and Keith Levine's being quite charming, and the band are literally about 2 weeks away from splitting in that lineup. It's really well worth watching. Superb. Next up, and kind of bookending what I would consider the post-punk era, Hex Induction Hour by The Four. A really, really scary and odd record, surreal at times. It really is quite transporting, this record. If I listen to it in the wrong mood or the right mood, it really does take you to some quite strange places. I think they recorded it in Iceland for some reason, in an igloo or something like that, in -20 conditions, and you can kind of tell. It is a fantastic record. Again, a bit like second edition, it's not the easiest to listen to. The opening track, the classical, I think is my favourite full record of all time. It's pretty brutal. It's just a brilliant record. Side 2 then becomes pretty surreal and just sort of meanders it's a bit like krautrock or something. It really is an incredible record, and I think Hit Priest got used in that film. What was that film? Silence of the Lambs. Did they use Hit Priest in Silence of the Lambs? I'm not sure, but it must have kept Marky Smith in a few quid. But yeah, fantastic record. And I was chatting to, I'm always chatting to people on the internet about music, and I was chatting to an American. He's like, because punk became quite unfashionable in England after about 79, 80, and he's like, you know, and America still, you know, had it really loud, fast, loud punk, people screaming about Reagan. He's like, you know, why did punk disappear in England by about 1980, 81? It became so unfashionable. And I'm like, mate, I don't think we were angry anymore. I think we were sick of it. I think we were just confused. Britain was where I grew up, was such a weird place between about 79 and 81. It was like, there's that line in A Hard Day's Night where Wilfred Bramble said to John Lennon, you know, I fought the war for you. And John Lennon just says, yeah, and I bet you saw you won. And that kind of sums it up. You know, I was still playing in 1980, 81. I was still playing, me and my mates, in bomb sites. We hadn't rebuilt Britain. There were 4 million people unemployed. There were still power cuts all the time. The country was completely broke. And then we had to watch Charles and Di get married in a gold chariot. It was just surreal times, and I think that's why Britain. I think that's why punk. I don't think people wanted to be angry anymore. I think people just wanted to have a bit of a knees up, and yeah, strange times. And I think that's what gave rise to a lot of the post-punk in Britain. That's why a lot of it was funk and soul influenced. I think people just wanted to have a good time, to be honest. Next up, an American one. This is the EP, Peru, Date of Panic in the Year Zero. Absolutely fantastic. I would have chosen the first album, but I no longer have it because it's got Non-Alignment Pact on it, which I think is that'd be in my top 20 punk songs ever. But this has got 30 Seconds Over Tokyo on it, which I think was taken from a book about the Second World War, Pearl Harbor. I've got a feeling. This is fantastic, and the track 30 Seconds Over Tokyo is one of the most haunting tracks ever. I mean, I love Peru, or Peru, I'm never quite sure how you pronounce it. This actually came out quite early, I think, a lot, because this is a collection of their 12-inch. I think 30 Seconds Over Tokyo came out in 75, 76. But yeah, very surreal song. A great EP. £1.99 they recommend for this. But yeah, fantastic. Next up, I'm kind of alluding to the what I was saying earlier, where people, certainly in the UK, probably just wanted a bit more of a knees up. We got Joseph K's It's Kind of Funny, the singles. Joseph K were a Scottish band, and they really do sort of embody the whole idea of what I think of post-punk, where it was still kind of driving and still kind of fast music, but I mean, they were very much influenced by sort of funk. The singles, it's Sorry for Laughing and Chance Meeting, are well worth listening to. They're brilliant, but I mean, all these are great. Sort of fast, quite funky, quite driven, and yeah, fantastic band. They came out of the same scene as bands like Orange Juice. Orange Juice said they wanted to merge the sounds of Chic into the Sex Pistols, and again, that kind of sums it up for me. That's the kind of music I loved in the kind of the post-punk era. But yeah, Joseph K, It's Kind of Funny, the singles, fantastic. Next up, the Human League, Reproduction. Again, they were. This is like the first lineup of Human League before they went completely pop. A really great record, really eerie. Songs like Circus of Death, Austerity, Almost Medieval. It's just so eerie, and it really sums up Britain for me. And around that time, it was just like this oozing fear. And I remember everyone was fighting as well. Everyone was just going out and getting drunk and fighting. No one seemed to be having a lot of fun. But it's fantastic. What a Dreadful Sleeve, by the way. I know the band hate it. But yeah, Reproduction by the Human League. Great album. I mean, I love the Human League anyway. I love it when they became poppy as well. But yeah, this is a great one. Next up, another American one. The Wipers, Youth of America. This always seems like a bit of a turning point, because like I said earlier, it wasn't so much angry. It was more confused and more like commenting on the state of probably America at the time, in a slightly more literal way. Songs like Taking Too Long, Pushing the Extreme, When It's Over, No Fair. They weren't just screaming about Reagan or something. They were just, sort of looking inwards about, where things were going. Where were we? And probably like people in the UK probably didn't have a clue. This is a later version. I think the original comes with a different sleeve. This is like a 1989 repress. One of Kurt Cobain's favourite ever albums, which isn't always a seal of quality or guarantee of quality, but yeah, this is fantastic. Very highly influential as well on bands like Nirvana and a lot of the American indie scene. Youth of America by the Wipers, fantastic. And last up, and I've seen this get shown a few times actually on the VC, and another Kurt Cobain favourite, the Raincoats. All female band. I think this came out in 1980 in the UK. Just a very odd little record. Violins, quite minimal instrumentation. Great record. I think this comes out on red vinyl, which one of the few coloured vinyl records I've got. Really oddball little record, but fantastic. Quite poppy at times, quite scary at times. It's got a cover of the Kinks' Lola, which is fantastic. Yeah, and a really good record, the Raincoats. Really recommend it. So yeah, that's some of my favourite post-punk records. And thanks for watching, and I'll be doing some more videos later. Cheers, bye now.